You are watching the NHL Roundup. Welcome to another season of NHL hockey. This is the NHL Roundup. I'm Mike Jackman. All eyes right now in Toronto are on the Toronto Blue Jays making the postseason for the first time in 22 years, but that starts Thursday afternoon. Wednesday night there was a big game down the street as well at the Air Canada Centre as the Leafs opened up their season against their rivals, the Montreal Canadiens. On paper, these two teams are predicted to go in two different directions, as Montreal seems to be predicted as Canada's strongest choice to go towards the Stanley Cup and bring it home for the first time since '93, while the Leafs have no expectations and predicted to have a rebuild year and have no chance at contending towards the playoffs. And the Leafs started that rebuild when they sent Phil Kessel over to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the offseason. Maybe that's what the Leafs need right now. Have no expectations from anybody and just go out there and play. They can bring that motto of it's us against the world to the dressing room and use that as a spark. Because wouldn't it be a funny image if they surprised some teams and left the media with their foot in their mouth as the Leafs were left with the final words? That being, I told you so. Bad start for the Leafs in this one, not even 4 minutes in. PK Subban's lead pass for the new captain in Montreal, Max Pacioretty. His quick shot, Bernier gets a piece of it, but it goes up and past the line. Morgan Rielly does a great effort to try and sweep it away, but no dice, 1-0 Montreal. Montreal's almost going to increase that lead to 2 on a 3-on-2 break right here, but the key word in that sentence is almost, as Dale Weiss is going to tip this pass by Desharnais right off the post. Now it's a Montreal power play and they're going to set up Alex Galchenyuk, but Jonathan Bernier is going to come up with a huge save with a glove hand to keep this one at 1-0 after the first period. Not even a minute into the second with Brendan Gallagher in the penalty box, at least on the power play, Nazem Kadri steps into it and it gets tipped in front by James Van Riemsdyk pass Price, his first of the year. We're tied at 1 in the second. Now Montreal assumes that they've got themselves a 2-1 lead right here as Jeff Petrie puts it in, but you know what happens when you assume things. We go upstairs as the Leafs would challenge this, and it seems that Thomas Plekanec, his stick is going to be into the throat there of Jonathan Bernier, which makes him unable to make the save. That goal doesn't count, and we're still tied at 1. Still second period, this play right here is going to be sponsored by Cough Drops because he coughs it up to Thomas Fleischmann and he walks in all alone on Bernier, but he can't get a good enough shot off. We're tied at 1 going to the third. In the third period, even the Leafs defensemen are helping out Bernier as Jake Gardiner is going to turn around with his left skate and rob Desharnais as he was looking at the open net. But the Canadiens finally break that 1-1 tie. Shot from the point by Markov gets blocked, and in front, Alex Galchenyuk picks up the loose puck and fires it top shelf on Bernier, and the Canadiens have a 2-1 lead. Leafs get a power play and try and tie things up, but they just couldn't find a way to beat Carey Price again. He came up with 37 saves on 38 shots, gets the first star. Pacioretty gets an empty netter as the Canadiens spoil the Leafs home opener with a 3-1 victory. Rangers and Blackhawks not even 2 minutes in. Oscar Lindberg takes a pass from JT Miller, and there's no doubt Oscar's not grouchy about that. He beats Crawford 1-0 Rangers. He would, however, be grouchy about this because he gets another opportunity, but this time Crawford stops him with a pad. Couple minutes later, it's the Hawks that are going to hit the board now as Patrick Kane finds Artemi Panarin. He makes no mistake past Lundqvist. We're tied at 1 in Chicago. Before the end of the first, though, Rangers take the lead right back. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Kevin Klein, side of the net. One-timer beats Crawford 2-1 for the Rangers. Rangers keep it coming before the end of the first period. Here's a 2-on-1, goes wide of the net, but Kevin Hayes, great play to throw it back in front. Wide open net for Derek Stepan. He won't miss that. It's 3-1 Rangers after the first. Second period, and the Rangers can't get out of their own zone. That's going to cost them. Marian Hossa to Timo Teravainen. Quick shot past Lundqvist, and the Hawks are within 1, down 3-2. Third period, the Hawks still down by 1. Patrick Kane's going to step into one from the faceoff circle, but the royal feet of Henrik Lundqvist kick it aside and keep it 3-2 for the Rangers. 2 minutes left and the Hawks are still looking for that tying goal. Yeah, this isn't the way to do it. Teravainen turns it over to Rick Nash, but Corey Crawford bails him out. 1 minute left to go and the Hawks are still pressing for that tying goal. Jonathan Toews in front of the net. He's going to chip it past Lundqvist, but the referee had said he blew the whistle. It may have been a little bit too quickly. They went upstairs and the evidence was inconclusive. It'd be no goal, and the Rangers still led 3-2. So last chance for the Hawks with Crawford on the bench. Shaw's going to get a one-time shot coming up here, but it's going to be snatched out of the air by Lundqvist as the Rangers snatch 2 points from the Chicago Blackhawks with a 3-2 victory in Chicago. Break out the suntan lotion. Battle of California Sharks and Kings. Shot from the point by Dustin Brown. Tipped in front by Nick Shore. He sure does direct that one perfectly right past Martin Jones. 1-0 for the Kings. We reached the 10-minute mark of the first period. Still 1-0 Kings, but it's the Sharks on a 3-on-1 breakout. Joe Thornton keeps to himself. Sometimes it's nice to be selfish, and that one he gets rewarded. He puts it past Jonathan Quick. We're tied at 1. Couple minutes later, the Kings try to get their lead right back. Anze Kopitar with a great opportunity. Blocker saved there by the new Sharks goaltender Martin Jones. 5 minutes left to go in the first period. The Sharks are on the power play. Brett Burns the shot. Joe Pavelski the tip. And San Jose Sharks the lead 2-1. We go to the second period. Still 2-1 for the Sharks. Brent Burns had an assist on the go-ahead goal. Now he gets a goal as he goes top shelf through a screen of Jonathan Quick. And the Sharks increase their lead 3-1. Edward Vlasic the shot and tipped in front by Thomas Hurdle. Now it's a big hurdle for the Kings to climb. 4-1 for the Sharks. Back come the Kings, still down 4-1. They're trying anything to get back into this game as Carter throws it in front for Gabrick, but the ex-LA King, Martin Jones, stands his ground and keeps it at 4-1 Sharks. Before the end of the second period, Martin Jones is going to be up to his old tricks again. He's going to rob Tyler Toffoli at the side of the net with a left pad save and keep his club up by 3. As if the Sharks needed any more luck on this night, they get it anyway. Shot from the point by Don Scory goes wide of the net, and it bounces right in front to Joe Pavelski. No chance for Quick. Second of the game for Pavelski, and the Sharks take a bite out of the Kings, 5-1. Flames and Canucks, the Battle of Alberta from Calgary. 10 minutes in, we're used to saying this. Henrik to Daniel Sedin, he shoots, he scores, but not this time. Kerry Ramo comes up with an acrobatic save. But the Canucks do open up the scoring first. It's going to be Yannick Hansen taking the lead pass, and then going top shelf on Kerry Ramo coming up, making it 1-0 for the Canucks. 2 minutes left in the first period. Daniel Sedin this time isn't going to find his brother. He's going to find Brandon Sutter going to the net. He finishes it off with a tip past Kerry Ramo. 2-0 Canucks after the first. 4 minutes into the second period, and the Canucks get sloppy in their own zone, and they pay for it as Johnny Gaudreau finds Yuri Hudler going to the net. He finishes it off past Ryan Miller, and the Flames are on the board. It's 2-1. Time running down in the second, still 2-1 Canucks. This has to hurt the Flames like getting kicked in the groin with a steel-toe boot. Dan Hamzu's the shot, tipped in front by Daniel Sedin with 5 seconds left to go in the second, and it's 3-1 Canucks. It goes from bad to worse in the third period if you're a Flames fan. Here, Dennis Weidman does the right thing. He breaks the pass across. The only thing is, he tips it past Kerry Ramo into his own goal, makes it 4-1. The Canucks would add one more and win their season opener in Calgary, 5-1.